Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. It's another Scout update. I've been working real hard on getting this engine and transmission in, like I said on the last video. I've ran into one problem after another, but I think I finally about got everything ironed out. I'm going to show you the motor that I got came out of a Silverado, and I'd mentioned in the last video I didn't know if the oil pan was going to clear. Well, huge surprise, it did not clear. So I ended up having to get a four-wheel drive oil pan off of an S10. Just got one off of Amazon, put that on, and it gives me about 1/4 of an inch of clearance, so it's barely enough. Second thing I also had to do was these 4.3s in the Blazers, in the four-wheel drive models. They are very prone to having a massive oil leak. So down here where the oil filter goes, there's not enough room for an oil filter, because you can see it is tight in there. You cannot get an oil filter around that transfer case. So what GM did is they had their own factory remote oil filter that they put on these. Well, the problem with that is it just has one bolt that goes up, bolts into the block, and then it had these lines, kind of like air conditioner lines or whatever. It's got a metal fitting that transfers to a rubber hose, and then it transfers again to one of those clamp-on fittings that crimps the hose down. Well, what happens is over time that rubber gets loose inside that fitting, and then that fitting ends up blowing apart. And when that happens, it blows all your engine oil out, and you run a real quick risk of burning your motor up with no oil. So I didn't want to go back with that system. I did see some fixes that people did with compression fittings and stuff. What I decided to do, and hopefully this works, because if it doesn't, it's going to be a major pain in the ass, but Derail Performance makes a kit, a remote oil filter kit, and it's part number 15717. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna verify here. So that is the kit, and I do not see the part number on there, but I'm positive that's what it is, because I had to order another one. But anyway, so it's got MPT fittings, just a barbed fitting, 2 of them that come out of here, and then it comes with this bracket, and you can just screw. It actually uses a PH8A Fram filter, or whatever equivalent that is. It's like a small block Ford oil filter. So I decided to go with that because it's just hose clamps, rubber all the way. So got that done. Got the motor in, I got the transmission and transfer case in. I got a Howell EFI harness, so I could run this all fuel injected off the 411 PCM. Now, the only problem I had with this was that the vehicle speed sensor on the harness, they custom make these harnesses when you call and order them. They made the harness for a 2-wheel drive 4L60. So my vehicle speed sensor back here on the transfer case, the wires aren't long enough, so I'm going to have to extend that. No big deal. So just in case you were wondering, this harness was $650. So it's about on par with like the other harnesses I've used, like the BP Automotive for the LS swap stuff. But that, I think, is about it. The only other thing I really had to do was this had an air conditioner on it, and if you just try to route the belt the normal way after you take the air conditioner off, obviously the belt is too long, so I had to get a different size belt, and I had to eliminate the idler pulley. So we're going to see how that works. It's all tensioned and looks like it's routed fine, no problem. And I'm working today, since I got to working on this remote oil filter. I screwed up the fitting, the spin-on fitting for the oil filter, so I had all kinds of problems. Turns out that spin-on filter fitting is special order. Can't get it at the GM dealer, can't get it at O'Reilly's. I ended up having to search and search, finally found the part number, found it on Amazon from GM, and I think it was about 13 bucks, ordered a new one. And Amazon lost it, ordered it again, Amazon lost it again, ordered it again, finally got it today. So got that all plumbed in. I've got to put, so another thing I ran into with this motor is when I was going to put the oil pan on, I went to drain it. Well, when I started draining it, there was a little bit of water in the oil. So that was concerning, but I went ahead and drained it and flipped the motor upside down. Then there was water coming out of the intake. So I'm thinking the people who pulled this started pulling it. It was in a wrecked vehicle. They left the hood up with the bonnet off of the intake, and some water got in that intake and leaked down inside. Hopefully this motor's good. The only way to know is to start it up. I did put a bore scope in there. The front two cylinders on both sides have a little bit of rust around the valve seat, but the cylinder walls still looked good. There was a little bit of surface rust, but not bad. All the other cylinders, the back two cylinders on both sides, looked fine. Normal. So that's about it. I'm going to get this exhaust manifold back on. I've got to put oil in it. Got to do a little bit of wiring, hopefully get that done before my wife gets home from work so she can help me get this started. And I think what I'm going to do is, since I'm going to have to be welding on this, I'm going to pull that fuel pump out and stick it in a 5-gallon bucket with some gas so I don't have gas sitting in that gas tank and having fumes. Since I'm going to be welding, I can, after I get this started and I'm confident that it's going to run okay, I will let all that fuel drain back out, dry out before I put the fuel pump back in. But did find a hardtop for the Scout. Had to drive 16 hours round trip to Dallas to get it, but I got it. And we got a new shop toy for doing the body swap. So I got this gantry crane from Harbor Freight, 700 bucks for the whole gantry crane. And then I had to get the electric hoist. I just figured it'd be easier to have an electric hoist than using chain hoist. I've got some chain hoists over there in the corner, but it's nice just having a button I can push to operate that. Plus, this gantry crane also extends up to almost 12 feet tall. Barely fits under my garage door, but once I get this all going, it's time to start working on pulling that body off, and I'm hoping I can pull the whole body off without having to remove the front or pull the motor out of the old Scout. That way I can just roll the whole frame with the motor and transmission still attached out of the shop and get it out of my way. So button this stuff up, and hopefully here in a few minutes on this video, we'll be trying to start it. All right, so Amy just got home from work. I'm gonna make her do the honors of starting the motor up. We just put some gas in it. And before we try to start, I'm gonna cycle the fuel pump. Hopefully it comes on. And then once that happens, you'll pull that trigger and we will see if it starts. So see if we got fuel pump. Hear the fuel pump coming on though. Fuel pump is not working.
You hear clicking?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and just pull that trigger real quick. All right, so we are not starting it yet since the fuel pump isn't working. But I'll get to working on that and we'll see if I can get that going. All right, so yesterday was a total fail. We did not get it started. Went through all kinds of stuff. And I'm an idiot. I finally realized that I did not have a good ground between the battery and the frame, which is where I have the fuel pump grounded. So finally got the fuel pump working. So we're about to test fire this. And again, I'm gonna let Amy pull the trigger and make sure fuel pump kicks on. Hold on. Make sure it's primed up. Okay, go ahead. All right, we are running. So, with the Scout running, Amy is happy and got the shop kind of rearranged, got the gantry crane up, and we are going to start working on getting, we'll have to take the top off, then get all the body bolts out, and then we can pull that body off and transfer it onto the blazer frame. So I guess that is about it for the Scout update for this part. Next video, you will see us hopefully picking that body up and putting it on the frame. Say bye.
Bye.